2015 saw the 67th running of the Boyd Quaich. The tournament, run by the University of St Andrews, takes its name in honour of the Boyd brothers, two passionate golfers and former students at the university who gave their lives in the conflict of World War II. And what a magnificent setting it is, especially this year, being played only 2 days after the Open Championship finished, with the grandstands and the scoreboards still up throughout the course, the long task of deconstruction only just starting, the players getting a real feel of what it must feel like to play in the most prestigious tournament in the world of golf. Played over 4 rounds at the home of golf, 2 on the old and 2 on the new. The Boyd Quaich is itself a tournament of prestige in the world of amateur golf. And as we look through some of the previous champions over the last 20 years or so, we can see the real international feel that the tournament has. And once again this year, the lure has been strong for golfers based around the world, coming from as far afield as Australia, Canada and South Africa. Inevitably, the quality improves year on year, and one young Scot, currently based at the University of Louisiana Monroe, arrives here just a couple of weeks after playing on a full European Tour event.
I played the Scottish Open a couple of weeks ago, so that's a good experience. There's a qualifier at North Berwick, so I managed to qualify and get along there, which was nice.
After rubbing shoulders with the superstars of the game, what does he make of this week's setup?
That's great, it's pretty surreal. I mean, with the Open only finishing on Monday as well. It feels pretty cool, so really looking forward to this today.
Another golfer having a good season is Craig Howie. The University of Stirling student was the leading qualifier at the Amateur Championship across the water at Carnoustie. A modest young man, he puts part of his success down to the conditions.
I got quite lucky with the draw. It was quite calm, like the 2 rounds that I got to play, and I went out there and played great and holed a lot of putts.
A true Scotsman, he's a fan of links golf and of St Andrews.
We're very lucky to be able to play the old course, but we're even more lucky to be able to play it just 2 days after the Open.
A bright start from Craig over the opening 2 rounds. Not all the putts were dropping, as we can see here, but he played well enough to be 1 under par, just 3 shots off the lead at the halfway mark. Christian Rochel is a golfer who's travelled a long way to take part in this tournament, not for the first time. An impressive drive here in his second round on the 18th on the old course, making it into the Valley of Sin. The eagle putt didn't drop, but Christian safely making the cut, just as well as he's travelled, like I say, an awful long way.
I study at Stellenbosch University. It's near Cape Town. It's the second time I'm here. We qualified, and just to be at St Andrews is such an experience, you know. The vibe being here for the Open is the best we can ask for.
A nice birdie 3 to finish his second round, but how does Christian reflect on his game and the setup of the course today?
I played 2 over, which isn't too bad regarding just to think of all the bad pins or the tough pins, but I enjoyed it. The weather held up, so it's a good round.
One golfer saving his best for the cameras was Rhys Thompson of England. A classy approach here at the first, setting up a birdie for a nice start. But by his own admission, the middle of the round was a struggle.
Yeah, I started well, finished well, but a bit even throughout. Struggled at the end, but yeah, it was alright. Played well. I'm studying at UCLan, University of Central Lancashire. I'm doing a golf management degree, but I'm from Durham, so I've travelled up from there.
Another golfer relishing the chance to play here and loving the condition of the course.
Greens, they're just magnificent. It's amazing. Magnificent throughout. Absolutely love it. Love it. What a place. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Despite putts like this on the 18th, Rhys was 8 shots back at the halfway mark. He may not be competing for the title, but he'll certainly have plenty of good memories to take with him. Leading the way after 18 holes on the new course was Mike Howard of Edinburgh University. Here we see him in the second round on the old course, trying to cope with the 17th, the infamous road hole. He was 5 over for his round on the old course, meaning he was 1 over at the halfway mark, 5 shots back from the lead. Playing alongside Mike was George Williams of Long Island, Brooklyn. Despite finding the road, we can see him coping quite well with his 17th. He was level par after 36 holes, 4 shots back. With 36 holes still to play, anybody within half a dozen shots must have fancied their chances of winning the tournament, which means that Marco Lubser from the University of Pretoria in South Africa would have been delighted to see his birdie putt drop here on 18 to reach the halfway mark at 1 over par. Callum Hill, who spoke to us on the first tee, was also sinking the birdie putts. Here a nice one on 14, on his way to a halfway total of level par. Our hosts for the week, the University of St Andrews, of course run their own successful golf scholarship programme. Part of the team recently signed up is George Burns. Here a nice long putt at the par 5 14th on the old course, on his way to a halfway total of 1 under par, just 3 off the lead. Matching that total was a student at the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, Liam Johnston, one of the many Scots enjoying the scholarship programme over in America. Home-based at Strathclyde University is Craig Chalmers, looking to improve on a fine performance from last year where he finished in 3rd place. Craig was putting together 2 very impressive opening rounds, finishing just 1 shot off the lead at the halfway mark at 3 under par. The universities in Ireland are always well represented at this tournament. From Maynooth University, Ronan Millarney with a beautiful bunker shot here in his 2nd round. At the halfway mark, he was 1 over par, well in contention. Representing University College Dublin was Jonathan Yates. It's fair to say that one of Jonathan's strengths is his strength and the distance that he can hit a ball, but he also showed a nice touch around the greens to be 1 under par at the halfway mark. It could have been 2 under if this eagle attempt from the Valley of Sin had dropped after another massive drive on 18. He tapped that in for a birdie though, and would definitely be one to look out for over the closing 2 rounds. His University College Dublin teammate Alex Gleeson had finished 12th here last year, and he too was looking for an improved performance this year, and had started the brightest of all the golfers over the first 2 rounds. He reached the halfway mark at 4 under par to be leading the tournament by 1 shot over Craig Chalmers. As they moved on to their 3rd round on the new course, the sun had fought through the clouds, the wind had calmed down just a touch. If anything, it was a cross breeze for most of the holes, which are pretty much 9 out and 9 back. Coping well though was Stephen Anderson from Texas Wesleyan University, starting the 3rd round at 1 over par. A nice birdie there got him back to level. Here we have Callum Hill up at the par 5 3rd with his 3rd shot, setting up a birdie, and Callum kept his challenge going throughout the round, playing himself into the final group for the 4th round on the old course. Here we have Jonathan Yates. Now I told you he was a big hitter, making light work of the 3rd hole here on the new course. All 511 yards of it. 2 shots up next to the flag, and that eagle putt dropped for Jonathan as his challenge continued. Craig Chalmers was just short of the green after 2 shots, but a lovely little flick from the rough, and he would get his birdie to maintain his challenge. But out in front at the start of the round and at the end of the round was Alex Gleeson. This is where he was after 2 shots, but again a lovely chip on, knocking it dead for a certain birdie. Alex would shoot a 4 under 67 on the new course for his 3rd round, giving him a commanding lead with only 18 holes left to play. Other golfers under par: Craig Chalmers and Liam Johnston at -1 there, Craig Howie, Callum Hill at -3, and in 2nd place but still 4 shots back, Jonathan Yates. So what's going on at University College Dublin then?
There's quite a good few good players in UCD at the moment. And I think just probably just links conditions suit us because we play a lot of links golf throughout the year, and courses there's a bit of room on both courses, so you can kind of stand up and Johnny would hit the ball a long way, so you can just give it a rip.
Well, I'm not too sure if scoring that well can be simply just down to giving it a rip. But Gleeson 4 shots ahead as he entered his final round here. Now making sure he was on the green, or over the burn at least, in 2 at the opening hole. But a nice chip back ensured a par and a steady start. On the second, we have Liam Johnston, who we saw started the day at 1 under. He bogeyed the first, but a nice birdie back here at 2. And he was back to 1 under par. But needing to make a move soon if he was going to challenge Alex Gleeson 7 shots ahead. He was playing alongside Craig Howie, who was on the same score, and he too got a nice birdie here at the second after parring the first, making a move perhaps, but it's a lot of ground to make up. Trying also to make up ground as we move down to the 7th, Jonathan Yates. This was his birdie attempt, just shaving the edge of the hole. And playing alongside a man who starts the day 4 shots ahead of you, you know that these are the kind of putts that need to drop if you're going to get your name on the Boyd Quaich. The third man in the final group was Callum Hill, the 7th proving tricky for all the golfers except Callum pretty much. A rare birdie at the tricky 7th. Not long, but the wind was very strong at this point out at the loop. Just coming off it on the 12th, Declan Reedy, another man over from Ireland, Institute of Technology at Sligo, and he was coping better than most in the strong winds, on his way to a final round of 73, 1 over par. Here we see Liam Johnston again, also at 12, after a big drive and a very impressive little approach. He would see that in for a birdie 3. Struggling on the 12th though was the big hitting Jonathan Yates. This tricky putt was to save par. You can see it didn't drop, and he would have to settle for bogey. And at this point he knew that that was not good enough. Alongside him, Alex Gleeson. Well, this was his birdie attempt, and in it went. 2 shots the difference on the 1 hole for these 2 golfers, and Gleeson determined to keep his lead intact. Up to the 14th, and a nice birdie putt from Marco Laubster from the University of Pretoria, starting the day in 6th position and looking to consolidate that. Well, not all of the spectators looking too impressed there. Also at 14, Alex Gleeson, the leader. Well, he was through the back in 2, the wind helping the golfers home. Chipping up nicely, and that another birdie for the Irishman. Just tapping it in, fending off the challenge from fellow countryman Jonathan Yates. He had this for an eagle, and it wasn't over yet. Still 4 shots separating them, but with 4 holes left to play, well, you never know. Up now to 17, and again with Laubster. And Marco rolling in a very nice putt for par. And he would finish the day, as he started, in 6th position. A 3 over total for this year's Boyd Quaich, and he seems happy. Craig Chalmers, well, he was 3rd last year, but he had an awful lot of work to do to match that by the time he reached the 17th. Although what a fantastic approach that was. And I can tell you that that putt went in to give us one of the rarest sights in golf, a birdie on the 17th. Playing alongside was Craig Howie. This was his 3rd shot, and he was happy just to see that roll up to the side of the hole. And he walked off the 17th with a par 4. And I can tell you, all the golfers would take that if you offered them it back on the tee, the other side of the hotel. By the time the final group reached the 18th, Alex Gleeson's lead was 3 over Jonathan Yates and 4 over Callum Hill. A nice moment there though for Callum Hill, with his tee shot rolling onto the front edge of the green, setting up an eagle opportunity and impressing those spectators ever present here at the 18th green in the old course to watch the golfers come in. Alex Gleeson had a, well, rather lengthy eagle attempt himself from just off the side of the green. Beautiful weight on the putt, and surely now the 2015 Boyd Quaich was in his hands. Second place was still up for grabs though between his 2 playing partners. Callum Hill, this his eagle attempt after that big drive, but leaving it short left the door open for Jonathan Yates to make sure of second place himself. Jonathan's drive, unsurprisingly, had reached the back of the green. This was his birdie attempt. In it went. He finished the tournament at 5 under par, second place on his own. 4 great rounds from Jonathan, but with the 2015 Boyd Quaich scoring so close, he may be left wondering what if. Gleeson had this to finish with a birdie in style, but he just rolled it up to the edge of the hole. Doesn't look too happy about it. But tapping in, Alex Gleeson is the 2015 winner of the Boyd Quaich with a 4-round total of 7 under par in tricky conditions to win by 2 shots.
I was tough going the whole way out. Wind into and off the left and the front 9 wasn't easy, but there's a bit of room in the old course, so I was able to just sort of hit good tee shots just down the left side and give myself chances.
Gleeson held his nerve well to win this year's Boyd Quaich, playing alongside his big hitting teammate from University College of Dublin.
I played a lot of golf with Johnny, so I'm well used to him knocking it 30-40 yards by me, like he did down quite a few holes today. But I don't know, because I knew that he has a bit of an advantage off the tee, so I knew I was going to have to try and chip and putt well and stuff to try and sort of keep him at bay. This is my 3rd year and it's always a brilliant week. We're looked after so well by the university and the Links Trust and the RNA and everyone. So I know, like, there was no doubt that I was coming back again this year, not giving up the chance to play the All Course 2 days after the Open finishes, which was made it all the more special.
And with that, we say congratulations to our winner, Alex Gleeson, and we leave you with a final look at the results from the 2015 Boyd Quaich here in St Andrews, Scotland.